for the Wildcats. So I feel like that we need to win on the offensive end. And I know you talked about the perimeter, but I'm going to bring it up. They don't block that much. Attack the paint, too. All facets of the offense need to be clicking tonight. Like you said, Ryan, this team's on a 3-game win streak. They're feeling hot and coming in with immense confidence. We got to put that to rest.
Yeah, and you know, Jackson, like you just mentioned, none of these players are really too over the moon in terms of getting blocks on the inside. One prime example of that is the simple fact that none of these players average a block. There's not a single player on Seattle Pacific's roster which averages a block per game. And at the end of the day, and what that shows me is that their interior defense just isn't up to the caliber of the Wildcats. We're going to test that theory in just about 55 seconds here as we get ready for the beginning of this matchup. Folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got the beginning of this matchup between your Central Washington Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Won the Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Folks, welcome back to the Nicholson. I am your play-by-play commentator for all of tonight's action. I am Gildersleeve, alongside my color commentator for this matchup, Wow, I almost pulled a Terry.
You did. You almost pulled a Terry Redouts.
I almost did. Hey, one of my favorite professors, though. You really can't take that away from her. Jackson Roberts, so glad to have you here with me here tonight. Of course, it was a long winter break without anybody sitting beside me in the chair. It was just a whole lot of barking to myself in the dark.
You killed it. Don't worry.
Hey, I try. I truly do. Well, one way or another, folks, we're just about ready to kick off the action from the second matchup of the night. Of course, in the first of the day, we saw your Wildcats send the Falcons packing with a really solid win. 23 points they win by at the end of everything. And they held strong throughout it. I mean, listen, there were a couple of points in those first half where you could have said that momentum wasn't swinging in their favor, but what point in any basketball game is there a point where you can't say that one team or the other is doing better?
It's a game of runs, really.
It truly is, and I'd have to agree with you there, Jackson. Now, I'm excited to see what the Wildcats are going to implement coming into tonight. Of course, it's been a little bit since we saw them on the home court. It's been a long time since we saw the Wildcat men's team on the home court. Since December. I think this is the first time this year that we've seen the Wildcats at home, at least this men's team. And what an incredible season it has been.
Well, Ryan, I have a question for you before the game starts. Is there any freshman that has kind of caught your eye this season that's mainly been kind of like a standout? We had a lot of freshmen last year who showed out for the Wildcat team, but this year we've had a few guys like Kobe Parlin, Jamari Harris's athleticism just is through the roof. So what do you think about any of our freshmen?
You know, let me tell you, Jamari Harris has made my job really easy this year. Listen, as a young broadcaster, you're always looking for big clips. And there's no one better on this team to take the reins from Samad Hector in the last couple of years.
Then Flight 32.
There's only a couple of men that have graced this court, which have led me to clip this microphone multiple times in one game. One is Jamari Harris, the other is Samad Hector, and the other is Matt Paquette. So shout out Matt Paquette. One way or another, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, let me tell you, this Wildcat team does such a great job with player acquisition. Whether it be freshmen, whether it be transfer players like Jello Lloyd, who we saw last year. Listen, there's just an incredible amount of talent acquisition that runs through this team's blood. At the end of the day, if you're able to acquire and throw players out onto the court the way that this Wildcat team is, then I think that you're in a position to win. Now, and something else I'd like to bring your attention to. Since the last time that we saw the Wildcats on the home court, Bradley Swilly has fully rejoined the team and is in the rotation, in the rotation moving forward. I was going to say in the lineup, but I suppose it's the same thing. But yeah, one way or another, folks, we are just about ready for the beginning of this matchup between your Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Now, there are quite a few names that you're probably going to hear a couple of times throughout this one, and one of them is Jason Latour, who he failed to rear at home for Seattle Pacific. We'll give him that.
Early stoppage.
Yeah, real early stoppage there as the whistles blow. And it looks like we will redo the inbound. There's no fouls registered. Wildcats still have the ball in hand. So
6 seconds into the game.
yeah, I suppose so. One way or another, now we have started the action. Here's Jordan Clark with it. Heads out left, and he's going to get the screen from from Mitch Brizzi. He uses it and then passes over to Anderson. Anderson now moves it over to Clark. Clark right back to him. On the drive is Anderson. Pitches out for Clark. Now to Holden. On the perimeter, he drives, stops, hits it over to Sanders in the corner. This one's up, that one's off. Rebound now goes to Seattle Pacific, more specifically Jackson Knapp, who leads the GNAC in rebounding. And now here's this one on the inside with number 33. This one's going to be handed off. It'll be Owen Moriarty. And it's back out for 33. Kicks this one out right for Mason Landek. Landek, who's been a big name in Washington sports for a while now, going to hit the mid-range shot. That'll be the first point scored of the matchup.
Tough shot from the left elbow there.
And so now it's Jordan Clark, goes up and over to Anderson. Anderson in the corner for Holden. Takes it, makes it. Kevin Holden with 3 on the board.
Just money. Third in the GNAC and three-point percentage shows why he's up there on the leaderboards.
That he does. As now on the other end here, Landek going to pass inside. Now this one going to be handed off to Kinlock. To Moriarty.
Well, he traveled, took a few too many steps there.
That he did. And as a Wildcat fan, I'm kind of fine
The
with
defensive presence of Mitch Brizzi, it's really hard to get around a man that is that big.
It really is, as now Jordan Clark brings it up for the Cats once more. Matched up here with Moriarty. This is going to kick it out left for Sanders. Sanders now hands off to Holden. Holden to Anderson. Got to go that same direction once more. And this ball finds its way out of bounds.
Well, you talked about perimeter shooting before the game, and 2 shots have been put up by the Wildcats, both 3-pointers. So we'll see if that continues to be a trend here.
As now, Kevin Holden, your inbounder, is going to kick it inside for Brizzi. Brizzi now to Holden. Holden uses the screen, stays on the perimeter. Got Landek in just about no man's land, but unable to convert on the shot. Rebound going to go to Seattle Pacific.
Almost had to find that man a map for a second.
Yeah, just for a moment there. You thought that it was going to happen. Here's Nap with it. He's going to drive inside, working against Maverick Sanders. Goes up for it, and he's going to miss. Rebound will go to Mitch Brizzi.
What a battle.
Was neither of the 2 guys battling for that one. It's kind of funny. Here's Kevin Holden. He's going to kick it to Clark. Clark with the 3. Clark makes it. They get 6-2. The Wildcats jump out strong.
Over 50% of his 3-point shots are falling. That is just pure.
I am feeling my blood pressure rising, Jackson. This is about to become a shouting match if I know one. As driving in and scoring once again is Landek.
Tough finish over the long arms of Brizzi.
Here's Garrett Anderson. He's going to move it over to Brizzi. Brizzi back to him. Anderson picks his side, drives, and he's unable to score. Rebound now going to go to Shooterstedt. And it's Landek moving this one over to Knapp. Knapp approaching on that left side, being guarded by Anderson. Puts the shoulder into him. Now driving, and he gets himself an easy shot. Garrett Anderson like a revolving door on that one. And here comes Kevin Holden, bringing it up for the Cats. They are tied now, 6-6. Wildcats have made a couple from beyond the arc. As now here's Sanders inside for Brizzi. Brizzi now goes to Sanders, but it finds its way out of bounds, and just like that, it's the Falcons with possession once more.
Wildcat turnover is something we've got to limit as we have Bradley Swilley checking into the game. And did you say this is his first game at the Pavilion since last year?
Second.
Gotcha.
First game since last year,
Yeah.
I believe. Yes, I believe.
Checking back in front of the Wildcat faithful.
And so this one inbounded by Knapp to Landek. Landek approaching the half-court line, working against Jordan Clark. He's going to move this one outright. And now this one attempted inside. Whistle blows, and it's going to be a kickball violation. It goes off the boot of a Wildcat there, and just like that, it'll be an inbound for the Falcons. Landek is going to toss this one in to Shooterstedt. Shooterstedt out left. He's going to hit Knapp. Knapp now going inside for Latour. Latour going to knock Bradley Swilley down and then miss the layup. Wow. Minus 2,000 points on that one. As Now Maverick Sanders with it. Going to drive in from that right side. Stops for a second. Going to kick Brizzy. Brizzy working now against Schoenerstedt. Shoulder to him. Puts it up. Puts it back in. And it'll go this time. Second chance opportunity for Mitch Brizzy.
Offensive rebounds. Take it when you can get it and put it right back up. Mitch Brizzy's got the height for it.
Mason Landeck now bringing it past half court. 8-6 your score. The Cats lead it by 2. And here's Landeck. Takes the three. Misses off the back iron. Rebound goes to Maverick Sanders. Sanders now kicks it out to Clark. Clark up and over for Brizzy. Brizzy now looks like he's going to try Schoenerstedt again. And instead, he tries to pass this one over to Kevin Holden. Finds its way out of bounds.
That's twice we've seen Mitch Brizzy try to get that pass on the cutting offensive Wildcat, but just could not quite get it to him either time.
Honestly, I would like to see a commitment on that one.
Yeah.
I want to see him just drive that shoulder, score again, especially if they're letting it go like that. One way or another, folks, a timeout called on the court. We'll take 1-2 and be back in just a moment. '88 won the Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. You got Ryan Gildersleeve here on play-by-play, joined tonight by Jackson Roberts on color commentary as we get ready for what should be a great remainder of the first half. 15 minutes, 32 seconds remain, as it's going to be Jackson Knapp, the inbounder for the Falcons here. He's going to send this one in to Owen Morardi.
After 2 turnovers, Calvin Sisk is checked in for Mitch Brizzy.
And now a little bit of a substitution. A couple of guys on the court, which are new for Seattle Pacific. This one passed around a little bit. Now attempting and making the shot. Number 14, Trace Evans from New South Wales, Australia. Ain't that something?
Second leading scorer for SPU as well.
Very intriguing. Maverick Sanders now. He's going to move it over to Calvin Sisk. Sisk back to him. Sanders approaching. Now Colin for a couple of different movements here as Swilly's going to kick it to Clark. Clark now back out for Holden. Holden to Swilly. Bradley Swilly back to Holden. He's got 6 seconds to work with. Driving. Back Swilly. Takes the three. Oh, that one's off. Looked so close for a second there. As now on the other end, it's the Falcons looking for an opportunity on the fast break. And a great job by Bradley Swilly to knock it out of bounds. He's going to argue like his life depends on it for the ball to stay, or excuse me, to go to Wildcat possession.
Yeah, Moriarty found a cheerleader over there.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, but you know, you gotta be happy with the return of the cheerleading squad and the band
And
to the Wildcats.
I love to see it.
You just love to see it. You truly do. Guys getting hypnotized, shooting free throws will never get old. As now on the other end, a foul is going to be called on what appeared to have been a block for a moment. Instead, it'll be a shooting foul.
Foul goes on Calvin Sisk. And I mean, it may seem minor, Ryan, but that band play, or just numbers for the team. Last year in the GNAC tournament, it really seemed like there was moments that they brought us back into the game with the energy.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just the way that it goes. You've got all this stuff right up in your face. How are you going to get around that? And a lot of teams don't have an answer to that question. Or almost called you Cash there for a second. That would have been something.
That's 2 times. You get 3 strikes, Ryan.
Called a basketball game with Cash in 2 years. So that's that's intriguing. As here is a second free throw to be attempted. 9-8 your current score. The Wildcats trail it by 1. Second one put up and missed by Evans. Rebound goes to the Wildcats. And it'll be number 1
Eli
for the
Williams.
Cats. Eli Williams bringing it up. He's going to move this one over to Swilly. Swilly now inside for Williams. Throws a shoulder for a second, but he's going to back up and send it inside for Sanders. Sanders now stopping, attempting, missing. Rebound Sisk. And can he get himself in position in time? Fights through a lot of contact, tries for Bradley Swilly, and he's just unable to get the shot to go. Now a third chance for the Wildcats as Kevin Holden's got it. He's got 8 seconds to work with. Now driving. Step back mid-range is good! Kevin Holden puts him in the blender and puts 2 on his head.
Made him touch earth. Oh, my goodness.
10-9 your score now. The Cats lead it by 1. And here's Evans with it, working against Sisk. Sisk going to play the role of the revolving door once more.
Sisk may be tall, but he does not have a lot of strength to him.
Yeah. The Wildcats need to be doing better on that interior defense. If they can't do that, this game's going to be a runaway at some point or another. Kevin Holden, step back, takes it, makes it! Kevin Holden! That man is dirty!
Through contact, too. Could have been a foul. He drops it like it's nothing.
And it's Julian Mora bringing it up for Seattle Pacific after the big shot. Sends it out left. Now on the perimeter, Sandberg sends it inside now for Evans. Evans backing it up. Now hits a man in motion. Shots put up and made. That one goes to Owen Morardi.
Just no interior defense for the Wildcats. They're tearing us apart in there.
And so now Sanders going to move it to Swilly. Swilly now to Holden. Holden on the drive. Steps back. Almost had his man moving again. Instead, he's going to go outside for Sanders. Sanders now. And there's a switch. Holden going to send it out for Swilly. Swilly approaching. Kicks it up top for Holden. Again, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Kevin Holden approaching. He's going to lose it, attempting the pass to the big man, Sisk. Instead, now it's Mora bringing it back. Gets it to Evans. Evans now in the corner for Sandberg. Sandberg goes back inside for Evans. Working against Sanders here. And they're going to go right back to the same trade partners. It's Sandberg and it's Evans, but unable to get a shot to fall on that one. The Wildcats regain possession with a tie game on their hands. Eli Williams now handing this one off to Kevin Holden. Holden now swings it out right for Sanders. Sanders to Sisk. Sisk hands it back to Sanders. Takes the three. That one's off. Rebound goes to Jackson Knapp.
I don't mind seeing Mavericks shoot some three-point shots, but I don't want to see him rely on it, too. That's already 2 shots he's missed today.
Now Mora approaching the perimeter. He swings this one left to Evans. Evans now one more time to Sandberg. Inside. Evans. And he's going to lose it. Finds its way out of bounds. And that should be Wildcat basketball. It will be Wildcat basketball. Mitch Brizzi and Jordan Clark will re-enter the game after this. Timeout's called on the court. We'll take 1-2. Be back in about 30. '88 won the Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Ryan Gildersleeve here, your play-by-play commentator for all of tonight's action, alongside Jackson Roberts as we get ready to detail for you the final 11 minutes and 15 seconds of this first half of action. What a game it's been so far, Jackson. Very evenly contested. Yeah. We had our conversations before the matchup, speaking about what this could end up being, and I think that the Wildcats have done a great job of keeping the lid on their competition here tonight. I'm excited to see how it happens from here on out. Jordan Clark with the ball for the Cats. He's going to take a scrolling mid-range and waving with the movement. He gets it to go.
He's just such a great shooter anywhere, the 3-level scorer, too. He can drive in the paint, too.
And so now approaching is Jackson Knapp. Once again, matched up with Sanders. Sanders almost plucks it from him for a second. Now Sandberg on the drive. And this one finds its way out of bounds. No change of possession, so 14 seconds will remain on the shot clock on the inbound, with Landek in position to be the inbounder. And he'll send this one in. Now it is number 11, Coleman with it. He hands it off to Sandberg. Sandberg matched up with Eli Williams. He's going to go outright with it. They're going to go that direction once more. And now it's Latour with it. He takes the mid-range. He misses, and it's Eli Williams with the rebound. He's going to swing it to Sanders, who will bring it up for the Cats. Swings it inside to Brizzy. Brizzy now working against his man. Throwing that shoulder. And he's going to not be able to get an opportunity inside. Instead, he kicks it to Sanders. Sanders now to Williams. Williams coming in from the left side. Collapsing quickly. He's going to go back out for Anderson. Takes it. Makes it. 3 more points for the Cats.
The San Jose State transfer drains it from deep. Great shot there from Garrett Anderson.
18-13 now your score, as the Seattle Pacific Falcons need to figure out what they want to do moving forward here. This one being swung around a little bit. It's going to find its way on the outside with Sandberg. Takes the 3 and knocks it down. What a way to respond. And here's Jordan Clark for the Cats. Swings this one out left for Brizzy. Brizzy now hands it back to him. Clark takes the 3. Misses. Wow, just a little bit more on that, and it's straight through, but, you know.
I don't want to see us get reliant on our three-point shooters, though. Like we just saw with Kevin Holden, they're more than capable to carry this offense when asked, but we do not want to tire them out too early.
Exactly. I would have to agree with you there, Jackson. It's just one of those situations where you need to be smart about how you're playing your guys. As now Seattle Pacific inbounds it. It's Knapp. He's got it. And he'll bring it up. Coming up the left side with it now. He'll be matched up with Sanders once more. Throwing shoulders, trying to get towards the basket. Almost got it plucked by Brizzy a couple of times. And now he's...
That was a flop.
That was quite a flop. Yeah, almost. Yeah. Yep. As that happened, now on the other end, Garrett Anderson puts up a shot. That one's off. Brizzy can't pull in the rebound. And here comes Seattle Pacific again. Game is tied. They've got a chance to take the lead here. This one's going to be swung over, and it'll go to the left side once more. Knapp with it. He's going to kick it out, this time for Coleman. And here's Landek on the drive. Loses it. And that will be Wildcat basketball. Timeout called. Nope, timeout will not be called. In fact, that was the whistle of a man checking in as Maverick Sanders comes out. Jordan Clark comes in.
Jamari Harris comes in, I believe.
Or excuse me, yeah. What am I even thinking here?
That's your clip demon
It
right
really
there,
is.
Ryan.
It really is. My favorite clip farming man. Okay. So Jordan Clark going to move this one over to Brizzy. Brizzy hands it right back to him. Now Clark approaching. Coming in from the right side of the painted area. He's going to swing it in for Brizzy. Brizzy puts it up. Makes it. That's exactly what you want to see from Mitch Brizzy there.
He seems to have the hook shot. It's just when he gets really close to the basket, it's almost like he loses grasp of the ball.
Really. As now Landek going to swing this one over to Latour. Latour now into Morardi. Morardi swings it back out. And it's going to end up in the hands of number 20, Sandberg. Sandberg to Latour. Latour to Landek. And a foul going to be called now against Seattle Pacific, giving Central the ball once more.
Winning defensive possessions is going to be a key to this game as we get a timeout. Just want to see more on the defensive end. We're giving up too much on the inside.
I would have to agree with you there, Jackson, and we'll see how they're able to respond coming out of the timeout. 8 minutes left in the first half of action. We'll get it to you in just a moment on 88.1 The Berg. 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Folks, you are hearing the voice of Ryan Gildersleeve alongside Jackson Roberts as we get ready to detail for you the final 8 minutes of action between the Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Your inbounder as we get back into play is Bradley Swilly, who tosses in to Jordan Clark. Clark now approaching for the Cats. He'll have Swilly out right, Brizzi out left. Gets it to Brizzi, gets it back to him. Now using the screen again. Coming in from the right side. Unable to convert on that one, but picks up his own rebound, and he's fouled as he attempts another shot.
Great job drawing the foul there by Clark. Like I said earlier on in the pregame talk, it was 94% from the line for Jordan Clark. And Coach Rinta's message for the team on the defensive end during that break was keep men inside defensively and then don't let them shoot the threes, but keep two men on the perimeter and three in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, yeah, they're shooting 30% from three on the season while we're shooting 38%, significantly worse than us. Let them shoot the three, make them work for it. As Jordan Clark goes 1 for 1, we'll see if he goes 2 for 2.
Yeah, the numbers would hypothetically say let them shoot the three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The numbers also say Jordan Clark's making 2 out of 2 free throws.
Hey, just like that. Here's Seattle Pacific. Mason Landeck specifically, ball in hand. He's going to move this one out left for Sandberg. Sandberg working against Harris. He's going to swing it out right for Landeck. Landeck going that direction once more to Morardi. Morardi now using it. He's going to drive and stop. Swing it for the corner. Brought in by Sandberg. Now kicked inside for Evans. He's got 2 seconds. He puts it up. Yeah, that's not what you like to see. But a great job by Evans to get that one to go.
He's having his way in the paint.
That he is Mitch Brizzi with the ball in hand for the Cats here on the top of the key. Sorry, the dribble between the legs just really did it for me there.
Man.
As a quick three going to be put up by the Wildcats, and that's Jordan Clark with his 3rd of the night so far.
Midi magician he is.
Oh yeah, simply put. As now it's number 14, Trace Evans with the ball in hands once more. He's going to move it over to Latour. Latour back inside to him. Now Evans approaching, puts it up and knocks it down. And now it's swung back into Harris. Harris to Clark. Clark to Brizzi. Brizzi moving over to the right side. He's going to hand it off to Anderson. Anderson stopping behind Brizzi, using him well. Now he's going to swing it over, and it's going to be, and that's going to be a whistle called. A whistle called quickly. I had 3 different things with them sounds in there.
At first I thought it was a shooting foul, but no, that one's going to be on the floor.
Yeah. So the Wildcats still with possession of the basketball. 3 fouls by the Falcons so far in this half, and the Wildcats have only fouled once.
Defensively, we need to stop Trace Evans, though. He's just feasting alive. 9 points already on the night, tying Jordan Clark with the most on the floor.
And now Brizzi going to put the shoulder into Trace Evans once more, and he's going to send it to the outside. Anderson unable to rear it in.
Take the hook, Mitch.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's just the same thing we were talking about before. You want to see the confidence from Mitch Brizzi to send that shoulder into the opposition. When it's so dense in there, that guy's not going to be able to fly backwards and draw a foul off of you like you just hit him with a Kimbo Slice just punched you. As now on the inside, a foul's going to be called. Trace Evans doing a good job of using himself being double-teamed to his own advantage.
That one on Mitch Brizzi. Looks like his hands were up, but it's going to be called on him.
And Evans will get ready to shoot free throws once again.
50% from the line on the year. Not a great free throw shooter. I mean, he's a big man, but you want to see your big man knock down free throws and see if he can do it here. 0 for 1.
And that one not going to work out for him. So now the second free throw will give him a chance to cut the lead down to 1, but they won't be able to go any further than that.
Kinlock checks in the game now. Checks in for Moriarty.
And now the second from Evans. And that's no good.
Man.
Rebound goes to Anderson there. He's going to move it over to Jordan Clark, and Clark begins his approach. He's going to go up and over to Brizzi. Brizzi now hands it off. And now on the drive, it's Swilly. He's going to stop for a moment, kick it to the outside, and Anderson. Anderson now coming in from the left. Puts it up and gets it to go inside.
What a strong finish from Anderson there. That one looked like there was no chance of him even getting the shot up.
Yeah, what a great opportunity and a great execution. Now this one going to be a kicked ball violation against the Wildcats, though that's not really going to do much, I will say.
I'll tell you what, in the second half, I believe if any opposing team player misses 2 free throws, everyone here in this building gets a free Carl's Jr. sandwich. So we sure hope Trace Evans finds himself at the line later in the game.
That's right, folks. Just 2 miles and a trip across the railroad tracks away.
Yep. Get you a free burger, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. As Mora, the inbounder, is going to send this one into Schoenerstedt, and it's back to him. Mora being guarded by Holden. He's going to head out left. Now it's back out to the big man. He's going to swing it out right for Sandberg and set the screen. Sandberg uses it, goes out right once more, and this one to Knapp. Knapp collapsing, scoring.
Wow. I mean, typically you see Maverick Sanders at least get a fingertip on that one. Nada.
And now Jordan Clark for the Cats. He hits Brizzi. Brizzi wide open, 3-point territory. Of course, not his shot typically. Anderson now going to get it after the biffed pass. It's going to go now to Brizzi. Brizzi to Anderson, using the body well. And Anderson's passing tonight has just been atrocious. I don't know where you're trying to send that one, but it was not going right.
Yeah, 3 turnovers from Brizzi, and now looks like 1 for Anderson, but still his passes have not been quite on points.
Well, let me tell you, it's like filling out a letter with a highlighter. It's not going anywhere. As now here's number 3, Jackson Knapp with the ball in hand. He's going to drive inside, now spinning around, looking for an opportunity to shoot. He does, and it's going to go off of the backboard. They're going to call a foul, though. Not sure I quite agree with that.
If they were going to call a foul, I saw it earlier on in the play. His body was kind of leaned forward. That was like a makeup call almost.
No contact on the shot itself, I will say.
Jackson Knapp on the season, shooting 65% from the line as Coach Rinta is going to take a timeout.
And so as they'll take the timeout, we're going to go ahead and take one too. We'll be back in just a moment here on 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. And we're back here on 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Ryan Gildersleeve here alongside Jackson Roberts as we get ready for the final 4:33 of first half action here from the Nicholson Pavilion. Folks, your Wildcats lead at 26-24. I would be curious to see what the survey says in terms of what people expected the score to be by now. But the Wildcats doing a great job of holding their own against one of the GNAC's finer teams.
Yeah, especially one of the hotter teams in the league as well. As we mentioned pregame, that they are on a 3-game win streak and looking to keep that going. But going to have to do it in front of a tough crowd and a tough Wildcat team.
That they are, as now Jackson Knapp shoots again, and he's going to nail that one. So Maverick Sanders, the inbounder, is going to flick it into Clark, and Jordan Clark now will approach from he's going to pass it over to Brizzi, who will approach from the center. Now it's going to be handed back and passed quite a few times. Brizzi with the ball in hand.
A lot of motion.
Brizzi now backing up against Schoenerstedt. Stops, attempts, almost got it to go, but he is going to draw the foul.
Rolled across 3/4 of the rim. Strong job of Brizzi to get it up and in the air to at least get the shot, but does not quite fall. And now he'll be seeing 2 shots at the line on the season. He is shooting 70%, so pretty solid for a big man. We'll see if he can knock either one of them down.
And Brizzi getting ready now. Nails the first.
I'll tell you what, he brings that thing high up above his head, too.
That he does.
But 1 for 1. We don't care how you shoot it as long as it falls.
And now the second ready to attempt, I should say.
Notable stat for Brizzi is about 2.6 offensive rebounds on the season, too. Just does a great job of creating second chance opportunities for the Cats.
As he's going to nail both of his free throws, so doing a great job on the extracurriculars tonight is Mitch Brizzi. And just like that, the Falcons, once again with ball in hand. It's Sandberg bringing it across. Matched up with Anderson here on the perimeter. Driving his way in from the left side. He's going to stop now. Swing it to the outside. and it's going to go right back to him. Now on the drive is Sandberg, and he's going to miss the layup. Rebound goes to Anderson, who's going to hit Clark on the move. Jordan Clark on the perimeter. He's going to drive forward past his man. He goes back out to Sanders. Sanders now on the drive. He's going to miss. And the rebound will go to Sanders. So rebounds his own miss on this one. And Kevin Holden gets it. He's going to go to Anderson. Anderson now to Brizzi. Brizzi going back out to Kevin Holden, who hits Sanders for the three, and he's going to get it to go. Maverick Sanders with a deep ball, continuing on the hot streak that he's been riding the last couple of games.
Knocks his first three down of the game after 4 attempts. Good to see one fall.
So now Jackson Knapp going to go right against him, following the 3-ball by Sanders. Bringing the shoulder inside. Puts it up. Gets it. Man. So a quick response by the Falcons, going to cut the lead down to 3 for the Wildcats. And here's Anderson. Goes inside for Brizzi. Brizzi throwing the shoulder at Schernerstedt. Now, he's not going to attempt it. Instead, goes to the outside with Holden. Holden now to Brizzi. Brizzi right back to him. Holden keeping his feet placed as he takes a step-back three that will not find the mark. 2:38 remain.
Yeah, we have two of our most dynamic scorers on the floor in Jordan Clark and Kevin Holden. Want to keep seeing the ball in their hands. I don't mind seeing Kevin take that shot.
And a timeout's going to be taken on the court, so we'll take one, too. Be back with you in just a moment here on 88.1 The Berg and your CW Athletics live stream. .1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. You got Ryan Gildersleeve and Jackson Roberts here calling the game for you between the Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. 38-1 to 28 your score currently, as the Wildcats have a 3-point lead over the opposing Falcons. Now, of course, we've spoken about it a couple of times throughout the course of this game, but we will reiterate that the Falcons came into this one on one heck of a streak, Jackson. 3 straight wins in those matchups. They outscored their opponents 83-70 on average. And, you know, I guess I was expecting a little bit more explosiveness to kick off the matchup from Seattle Pacific, but very proud of the Wildcats' ability to keep them contained.
I've only seen 2 players that are really going to hurt the Wildcats today, and that's Trace Evans and Jackson Knapp. We've got to shut those guys down. I think we have a great chance of winning this game, Ryan.
I'd have to agree with you there. As here's Mora with it. He's going to move it inside for Evans. Evans now moving against Brizzi. He's going to swing it to the outside, and it's going to find its way out of bounds. Wildcat possession.
I like this pressure type of defense. Get two men on one guy and make them forced to make a bad decision. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Turn the ball over there, ball in the hand of the Cats.
And it doesn't harm you when, at the same time, I mean, you've got 2 of the more competent defenders on the team flying at just about anybody on the opposition. While they're already trailing, whew. Yeah, that'd have me sweating too. So now Maverick Sanders approaching from the left side. Takes the shot, gets it. Wow.
You talk about some defense from Mav. How about some offense?
Yeah, that was a great job to sneak that ball in there. As now it's Julian Mora. He's going to move this one over to Evans. Evans almost had his foot slip past that half-court line, but I was almost a flower when I was born. As now this one to the outside. Sandberg for 3. Makes it.
Did he just bank that thing in?
Yeah, that really got me for a second.
Take those points off the board. He didn't call it.
Yeah. A minute 22 remains as Jordan Clark's got it on the outside. He moves it to Brizzi. Brizzy now back to
yeah.
Clark, takes
Oh,
the
yeah.
mid-range and gets it.
I love some mid-range Jordan Clark. It is just so fluid. It looks too easy.
Shades of Cameron McNeil. As now moving out left with it is Jackson Knapp. Knapp working against Sanders. And this one's going to be poked out of his hands by Kevin Holden. Getting in and disrupting it, but Seattle Pacific going to get it back.
Looks like
And
some discussions going on between assistant coaches for Central and the refs. Oh.
Okay, well, just like that, they were just kind of talking a little bit about whether or not the shot clock needed to be reset on that play. Of course, they did decide that it did not, as there was no shift in possession. Now here's Trace Evans receiving the inbound. He's going to hand that one off to Mora, and the whistles are going to blow again on a foul.
Looks like an off-ball foul.
Yeah.
On Bradley Swilly, got a hold of the arm.
That's not what you want to see at all if you're the Wildcats there. I mean, of course, if you got the ball against you, that's one thing. But one way or another, both these two teams tied at 4 fouls here tonight. Very intriguing.
Just want to keep the ball out of Knapp's hands here. I mean, the Trace is on the floor too, but force it to anyone else but those two, and I like our chances of stopping them.
Mora going to take the 3 and miss it. Rebound goes to Bradley Swilly. Swilly to Holden, and Holden will bring it up as per usual. Now, Kevin Holden approaching, kicks it out to Sanders, who takes and misses the 3. Rebound, though, goes to Holden. Holden going to get it to Clark, who takes the 3 and misses. Now, no time left on the shot clock, so if Seattle Pacific wants the last shot, it's theirs.
They should do it. If they're smart about it.
Really should. Julian Mora with the ball in hand. He's working against Kevin Holden here for the final 10 seconds. He's swinging around the right side. Now to the outside. Ball in the hand of Knapp. He's approaching. Kicks it out. Here's a wide open 3 for Mora, and you couldn't have asked for a better shot than that. Oh, wow.
Just left him wide open in the corner. One of the higher percentage shots I'm sure this team could take. But
well, yeah, it's like they were waiting for him at the airport with a sign and an ice cream cone. One way or another, folks, at the end of the first half of action, 35-34, your score. The Wildcats lead it by 1. So just like that, they've put on a great night. They've kept themselves in this one, and they've got a chance now to come back for the second half and kick the teeth down of both of these two squads. The Wildcats with an opportunity to sit down the opposing Falcons overall. We'll be back in just a moment. 88 won the Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Welcome back, folks. Ryan Gildersleeve here, your play-by-play commentator for all of tonight's action, alongside Jackson Roberts as we get ready for what should be a great night of, it's the great second half of action, I should say, between your Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Now, let me tell you, folks, the first matchup of the night between these two teams did not go in the Falcons' favor. The Wildcats would end up winning 23 points, the victor. Now, we come into the second matchup for the two men's teams, both going to be the same matchup again, obviously, if this is your first time tuning in, Seattle Pacific and Central Washington. Now, this matchup has been quite a bit different than this one's been quite a little bit different. Let me tell you, it's been close the whole game, but it hasn't necessarily felt that way, if I'm honest. Like, both of these two teams feel like they should be losing the game.
Yeah, I mean, each team has turned the ball over quite a bit so far. It's 5 turnovers for the Wildcats opposed to 6 for the Falcons. But I will be honest, 3 of the 5 of the Wildcats' turnovers have come in from the hands of Mitch Brizzi.
Yeah.
But then again, we have seen him with the ball in his hands a lot more. We're feeding him into the paint, and then we're trying to find open looks on the perimeter, which you talked about pregame. We're fine with those perimeter shots. We think that's how we're going to win the game, but we do need to limit those turnovers. Mitch Brizzi isn't quite, I mean, you saw him at the top of the key dribbling between his legs.
Yeah.
He's not the guy that you want the ball
He
in his
doesn't
hands
want
up
to
there.
take that.
No.
Definitely not, not a spot-up shooter. But one way or another, I mean, let me tell you, I would like to see him attempt one.
Yeah.
If he's got a wide open shot, and if you've got Nikias Schoonerstedt in the inside, and he's just backing off of you, giving you all the space in the world, you might as well let it fly.
He's not even looking at him. He's
That's what
looking
I'm
at the
saying.
other defenders.
That's
so,
what
I mean,
I'm saying.
I believe he only took 1 or 2 3-pointers in all of last year, but you would hope that that's something you're working on in the offseason a little bit. Even if it's not too polished up, you got the space to take it. Let it fly, man. I mean, we've seen guys like Maverick Sanders, who I said earlier has been streaky from 3, but he's confident enough to put up those shots. And speaking of Maverick Sanders, loved what he's done on both sides of the floor. Did a great job on defensively, especially against Trace Evans. Not so much against Jackson Knapp, but Trace Evans, it's been noticeably different when Maverick Sanders or Mitch Brizzi on him. We had Calvin Sisk on him earlier on, and he was feasting. So as much as I like Calvin's length and versatility, I just think that we kind of need to have Mitch Brizzi or Maverick Sanders on that big name for the Falcons.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you there, man. I mean, it's just one of those deals where you got to figure out where your players are best fit, especially in a matchup like this, where you just don't know exactly what you're going to see from Seattle Pacific. With any team that has a very poor standard when it comes to three-point shooting, I get a little bit more iffy when it comes to figuring out exactly where they're going to kill the Wildcats, hurt the Wildcats, harm the Wildcats. It hasn't really shown too bright and clear so far throughout this matchup, if I'd be honest. I mean, yes, they're able to score on the inside, but I don't know.
The key to putting this game away, put the ball in the hands of your 2 scorers, Kevin Holden, Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark has showed that he's able to score, like I said, on every single facet of the offense, mid-range, three-pointer, inside the paint. He can draw the foul. He's done a great job on the offensive end, and Kevin Holden just creates so much separation, and that creates so much, or just great looks for him, and even draws so many defenders over him too, creating open looks for his teammates as well. He's one of the leading passers on this team for a reason, and just get the ball in his hands, let him make some plays.
And with that, Jackson, we are back underway. Mason Landeck with the ball in hand for the Falcons. He's going to hand this one off to Moriarty.
Hey.
And just like that, the Wildcats going to get possession of the basketball. It's almost like they started with it.
Practically 5 seconds in, just like the first half. That time an illegal screen.
This one going to be inbounded. It'll be Jordan Clark bringing it up for the Cats here. Clark approaching that three-point line. He's going to hand it off to Holden. Holden now using the screen from Brizzi, going inside for Clark. Clark.
Take that, yeah.
And he's going to miss on that. He's going to be rebounded by Jackson Knapp off of the miss. And now here come the Falcons once more.
That's his first miss from mid-range. You know he was feeling it, and there was enough separation. So.
Right. Knapp with about the most unorthodox pass I've ever seen in my life there, but they're going to shift it around a few more times before getting it back to him. Now it's going to go inside, and that one's going to be missed by Jonas Latour, the man that I told you would be the player to watch for the opposing team tonight. Up until this point, hadn't scored. As here's Mitch Brizzi handing it off to Clark. Jordan Clark now approaching, using the screen from Holden, heading out left. Now he's going to drag it out back right. Stops and sends it over to Holden. Holden up and over to Brizzy. Brizzy now throwing that shoulder. Looked like he was going to put it up. Instead, he's going to hit Kevin Holden, who will miss a three-pointer from deep. And now Wildcats going to almost regain possession, but it will stay in possession of the Falcons.
Well, not only has Latour missed both of his shots, he's turned the ball over twice, too.
Wow. And that's a block by Anderson. You would have thought it was Brizzy, but Anderson got to him before. And now here's Holden taking the three. Making the three! Kevin Holden throws up on the board.
Missed his last one. He said, screw it, give it back to me. He's got the confidence to take it and drain it with ease.
And now they move it around the perimeter a little bit more. Mason Landek on the drive. Gets it to go.
Tough finish. Lefty finish over Jordan Clark.
And now here's Kevin Holden bringing it up. He's going to move it out left for Anderson. Anderson now outright for Sanders. Sanders going to hit Brizzy. Brizzy now drawn back outright with it. He's going to throw shoulder inside, and he's going to hit a driving Kevin Holden, who's going to secure a and one opportunity. What a play was that?
That's exactly what the exact same play we saw earlier in the first half. Mitch Brizzy tried to dish it down to the cutting Kevin Holden. Just missed him last time. That time it was on the money, right in the breadbasket, lays it up. Beautiful finish.
It truly was. As now Kevin Holden's going to head to the charity stripe, put up a shot, and he's got an opportunity to push the Wildcats out to a 5-point lead here, which I believe
would be the largest,
of the game.
82% from the line on the season, too. And correction for myself earlier, he does lead the team in passing with 4.2 assists.
So now Holden going to miss the free throw. Did we talk about his percentage on that one?
I may have.
Man, what are we doing? Mason Landek, ball in hand. He's going to shoot this one out left for Knapp. Knapp now to Latour. Latour working against Swilly. Puts it up. Misses. Rebound Swilly. Great defense inside from the Cats coming out of the second half. Now here's Bradley Swilly. He's going to move it out right for Sanders. Latour trying to play defense. Instead, he's going to end up fouling, making another and one opportunity for the Cats.
Maverick Sanders using his wide frame there to get in the paint. Defender was a little bit behind him, took advantage of it, and gets the and one. What a finish.
All right, all right. This is what you like to see. Let me tell you now. Maverick Sanders got a chance here to push the Cats' lead up to 7. The lucky number, the best number.
Sanders, the 4th leading scorer on the Wildcats.
And he drains it just like that. 43-36 your score. How are the Cats going to hold on to it? Full court press here. Woo. Mason Landek, ball in the hand. He's the primary playmaker for this team. Not going to work there. The shot is missed, and it's Jordan Clark with it. Approaching for the Cats. He's going to hit Swilly. Swilly now trying to find his way inside. He goes back out for Sanders. Sanders, step back. Swilly, 3, makes it! Bradley Swilly! And the Cats have a 10-point lead.
Bradley Swilly with a huge three-pointer there. 10-point lead for your Cats. Once again, largest of the game, and the Wildcats are going to look to extend it even more after this break.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a timeout taken on the court. I'm going to take one, let my vocal cords rest. When we come back, we'll have the remaining 16:58 here from the Nicholson Pavilion. '88 won the Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Ryan Gildersleeve here, your play-by-play broadcaster for all of tonight's action, alongside Jackson Roberts. as we get ready for the final 17 minutes of the second half of action. Now the Wildcats going to inbound it here. It's going to, or excuse me, the Falcons inbound to Jackson Knapp. Jeez, what am I doing? Yeah, put it in reverse. As here's Knapp, he's going to drive forward, send it to the corner. Here's Latour missing again. And a foul going to be called, a little bit too aggressive on the defense after he gets the miss. And yeah, they're going to retain possession on this one, but I'm not too mad about that. That's exactly how you wanted that to go.
They're forcing up shots. They do not need to take these three-point shots. We talked earlier about how poor they've been from the three-point line.
And that's what I'm saying. Why do you think they've got such a poor percentage? They're hucking it, and they're not making just about any of them. I mean, it's a perfect storm for the Wildcat side of things. As now, on the inside, sending it back out. Here's the deep three. Mora misses. Wide open, too.
Oh, my.
Wow. Yeah, look at that.
That was.
And this ball finds its way out of bounds. Wildcats possession.
That was not a good look. That was one Falcon versus three Wildcats, and he was out rebounding the Cats for a moment there.
He was getting his pokes in. That's for dang sure. You can't take that away from him.
Hall of Fame pogo stick there.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, you got to have a Hoffer pogo stick if you're up in there. As now it's Jordan Clark bringing it back for the Cats. And he's going to be matched up with Knapp here. Maneuvers this one out left to Swilly. Bradley Swilly now on the outside, swings it over to Sanders. Sanders now, and it's Kevin Holden to Brizzy, to Sanders, inside. Oh man, I thought he had that for a moment. Hit off the wrong end of the rim, and it will not fall. Knapp on the other end, working against Sanders. Drive it inside, swings it back, puts it up, makes it.
That's been the way Knapp has scored every single time, and now he is up to 12 points.
It's that little shoulder shimmy, and just like that, if you got your guy biting in one direction.
Slim Jokic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got Alperen Sengun on the court tonight. As now, this one passed to the outside. Jordan Clark now to Brizzy. Brizzy to Holden. Holden steps back, heads out right, using the screen from Brizzy, then tosses it up for Brizzy. Might have been off the glass, but that was definitely an assist in my book.
Love the creativity that we're getting here.
You really do. A 10-point lead for the Wildcats here. 15 minutes remain in the matchup between these two squads. This one's passed inside, and that's going to be a quick and easy shot for Henry Sandberg.
Great cut there by Sandberg.
And now Clark to Brizzy. Take it! He's not going to wing that one up. Instead, he's going to hit Swilly, who will, and he'll miss. That one might have done it.
Good separation, and he got that shot off quick, too.
Yeah. And now, on the other end, it's Julian Mora heading out left with it. He stops, swings it to Evans. Evans now against Brizzy.
Big men matchup.
Back out Mora. Mora going to hit his man, Latour, and that's the first three for him tonight.
Finds himself on the scoreboard.
And a timeout going to be called there. Just like that. 14:27 remaining in the game. We're going to go ahead, take 1-2. When we come back, we'll have the remainder of this matchup from the Nicholson Pavilion. 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Ryan Gildersleeve here for 88.1 The Berg alongside Jackson Roberts as we get ready for what should be a great remainder of this matchup from the Nicholson Pavilion. With only 14 and a half remaining on the scoreboard, we're interested to see how your Wildcats are going to put together a ceiling performance here. 48-43, your current score. 5 points separate the two squads. Your Wildcats have definitely had momentum in their pocket since halftime. Here's Garrett Anderson with it. He's going to move it over to Sanders. Sanders against Evans. Step back mid-range. And that one's off.
Very low percentage shot. I don't like that one.
I don't like that one either.
Maverick Sanders now shooting 3 for 10. The only Wildcat shooting under 50%.
Knapp coming in on that left side. Backing up against Anderson. Puts it up. Makes it.
Man, tough shot.
It's going to cut the lead down to 3 for the Wildcats. They're going to need something here if they want to stay away from striking range for the other squad. Eli Williams kicks it out left for Swilly. Swilly now taking the inside drive and getting it to go. He's so good at finding that.
Good job of stopping that 7-0 run from the Falcons, too. Had a little too much momentum on their side. Let's see if that can maybe stop it.
Mora now approaching. He's going to send this one out left for Sandberg. Sandberg now on the inside, and it's going to be with Evans. Working against Sanders. Goes up for it, and he's off! Rebound goes to Swilly! And the Wildcats doing a great job of covering their backs here. Bradley Swilly going to get it and move it to Sanders. Sanders back to him. Bradley Swilly stops, hands off to Anderson. Anderson now to Holden. Holden on the perimeter. He's so dangerous here. On the drive now. Get the hole! Gets fouled on his way to it.
Over 2 defenders tried to float that one high up there. It was above the backboard, it looked like.
Yeah.
Eventually dropped off the glass and just a little too much on it.
13 minutes now remain in the half. A quick little bit of conversation between Coach Renta and...
I'll say something about Swilly, too. He's looking really good on getting those defensive rebounds. He's a hustler on the defensive end right now, trying to grab those boards, eliminate those those second chance opportunities for the Falcons, as now we got a substitution.
Yeah, just like that, it's going to be Nikias Schoenerstedt coming in from Vienna, Austria. And it's Kevin Holden now getting ready for his second shot.
Second free throw or third free throw shot of the night.
Yeah, and he will get that one to fall. So 15 points for Kevin Holden so far. 52-45 your score. The Cats lead it by 7. And here's Julian Mora handing off now to Knapp. Knapp driving against Anderson. Stops, loses it. Kevin Holden going to come up with it. Coming back, he's going to hand it off to Swilly. Swilly to Holden. Holden's going to lose it. A rare occurrence on that one. Just weren't in sync.
Too many bodies here on the left wing. It was 3 guys. It was Swilly, Williams, and Holden. Got to spread it out a little bit.
So now this one going to be inbounded to Mora. And the Falcons are in possession once more. Mora now to Schoenerstedt. And now it goes inside for Latour. Working against Swilly. That's off. Wow. And the rebound goes to Maverick Sanders.
Aggressive defense there from Swilly.
Now, on the inside or on the outside is Swilly. He's going to hand off to Anderson. Anderson with the ball in hand. Maneuver in the perimeter. He hits Williams. Williams now going to fake the shot. Hit Kevin Holden. Holden to Anderson. Anderson taking the inside drive. Hit Sanders for 3. Give it to him. Maverick Sanders adds another few to the board.
And Maverick Sanders, looks like his second three-pointer of the night. Glad to see those falling.
11 points for him on the matchup so far. 55-45 your score. Cats leading it by 10 here as Schoenerstedt is going to hit his man, and he's going to get rejected at the rim in a big way. Can they make something of the drive still? Schoenerstedt. And, they're going to call that a blocking foul.
That was almost 2 amazing plays on defense there. And Maverick's smile. He's all smiles about it, too.
Well, one way or another, I'm getting fanned down. If you've heard the broadcast, you know that's not happening.
Never.
And just like that, a timeout's going to be taken. We're going to take one, too. Be back in just a moment here on 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. We're back here, folks. 11 minutes, 36 seconds remain in this matchup between your Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. The Wildcats lead at 55-45 right now, a 10-point lead for the Cats.
Well, I'm very proud of this Wildcat team. We talked about how strong of a team this SPU Falcons are as well. But the Wildcats have held their own here. 11:30 to go, 10-point lead. We'll see if it's trimmed down here after a couple of free throws. But regardless, great effort so far from your Cats.
Schoenerstedt misses the first one. Jackson.
We'll credit the...
How good is this guy at shooting free throws, Jackson? How incredible is he?
0%. 0%. And it's going to stay that way.
That's free food right
That's
there.
free food.
That's free
that's
food right there.
Food. That is a free burger. I believe so. We'll check the details real quick, but I believe that is the case.
And so now it's Maverick Sanders, the inbounder for the Cats. He's going to swing this one into Clark. And Jordan Clark bringing it up.
Final 5 minutes of a game, Ryan.
Oh!
Final 5 minutes of a game.
Jackson, you misled me in a terrible way. Now Bradley Swilly back out for Anderson. Anderson going to kick this one out right for Clark. Clark, back out Anderson. Stops, now drives. Kicks it to the outside, and it's Sanders. He's going to go to Williams at the top. 8 seconds to work with. Spinning, shooting, scoring!
Hey, okay.
Eli Williams, give him another pair. 57-45 your score. 12 points, the Wildcats lead it. And here's Mason Landeck with it for the opposition. He's going to make a quick pass out right to Schoenerstedt. And it's going to now be handed off to Morardi on the drive. Spinning against Anderson. Goes up for it, and that one wasn't close. Great job by the Wildcats there, playing defense on the inside with ferocity. Now Bradley Swilly with it. He's going to kick it to the outside. Williams driving, scoring! Eli Williams, give him another 2 back-to-back drives with scores.
The freshman coming in big here with those 2 lays there.
And Landeck to Schoenerstedt. Schoenerstedt out left. He's going to hit Coleman. Coleman loses it. And it's picked up by the Cats, but whistle is going to indicate that was not as clean as one would have hoped.
That was a quiet whistle. I didn't hear it at first.
I didn't hear the whistle at all.
I knew it by Swilly's reaction. You could tell how upset he was, but it looks like he just got a little bit of arm as he's going to get checked out of the game for Holden. And Brizzy will check in for Maverick Sanders.
So 14 points. The Wildcats lead it now. Yeah.
So the Falcons went on a 7-0 run, and now the Wildcats on a 13-0 run.
Jeez.
Like I said, what I say earlier, right?
It's a game of runs. It's a game of runs. Like Forrest Gump, you're always looking for your next opportunity to run. All right, here's Evans. He's going to hand this one off. And not taking the open shot there. Instead, they're going to pass it out right. It's going to find its way inside for Knapp. Knapp is off putting this one up. Foul is called. That'll be the 4th against the Wildcats in the half. So 3 away from from putting their opponents into the bonus.
Nat is already 2 for 2 on the night from the free throw line. See if he continues that trend. Yeah. Well, he wasn't shooting into the Wildcat band, though.
Yeah, he wasn't being hypnotized last time. Knocks that one down.
There's still one more shot. 3 for 3 on the day is Nat. Cuts the lead to 13 for the Wildcats.
And now a second opportunity. Puts it up. Misses. Oh!
Okay.
Wow. Hey, let me tell you, I am
that was
not
some
the
soft
one
touch
to be taking future advice from. As Jordan Clark with the ball in hand. Moves out right with it. Now uses the screen and heads back out. Hits Williams. Williams to Holden in the corner. Holden takes it. Misses. Rebound to Landeck.
Good little pump fake there. Sidestep. Almost got it to work.
Morardi going to pass to Landeck. Landeck stops, swings it inside. It's poked away by Brizzy, and the Cats have it again.
The diving efforts.
We are into what would be the 4th quarter of action, as now Anderson going to have a deep 3, and he's going to miss off the back iron. Now bringing it back up is Landeck for the Falcons. Heading out right with it. He's going to stop. Looked like he wanted Knapp instead. He's going to drive in his direction. Now, it's Evans working against Brizzy. Moves it to Landeck. Landeck takes the midi. That one's off. They call shooting foul on that?
Yeah, I think he kind of clipped his legs a little bit.
All righty, all right.
As Bradley Swilly, he's going to check back into the game. He's been a high motor type of player so far this game.
And it looks like he's...
I'd assume he's coming in for Eli, but I don't quite want to make that assumption.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you say it, because if I said it, then it probably wouldn't have happened. As now Mason Landek to shoot free throws.
Another 70% shooter for the Falcons.
And he's going to make the first. Yeah.
Well, we would have assumed wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you are absolutely correct.
Jordan Clark checks out of the game for Bradley Swilly.
I'm glad that I didn't. Glad I didn't drop any sort of guess there.
I'll be the one to look dumb for you, Ryan.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Taking the bullet, as that one's going to be missed, and the rebound goes to the Cats. Here's Kevin Holden. He's going to swing this one over to Brizzi. Brizzi now looks like he's going to give it back, and he will. And they're going to just keep playing hot potato with this one, as Brizzi hands this one off to Swilly. On the drive, takes the mid-range. That one's off the back iron and rebounded now by the Cats. Anderson moves it to Swilly. Swilly going to miss the three-pointer from the corner. And now on the other end, the Falcons take the three. Latour hits it from deep.
The quick trigger there.
His 6th points of the night so far. 2 3-pointers have fallen for him. A lot more have been attempted.
When you look at that, another run by the Falcons.
Yeah, right.
6-0 now.
Kevin Holden working against Mason Landek. You'd have to assume that the Wildcats are trying to chew the clock as much as humanly possible here. As Swilly driving, stepping, shooting, scoring! Give him the and one try as well. Bradley Swilly gets it inside.
That's a grown man's shot right there. Fading away, just one-handed, lots of contact. Too easy for Bradley Swilly. Big number 3 is going to be heading to the line.
Boy, do I love watching this team in full cohesion, because I'll tell you.
It's pretty basketball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There is no man-made medication that can make my heart race the way that it does when things like that happen. And, yeah, I will say. It's just one of those things.
Well, Swilly has yet to, well, he's 0% from the line on the season. Got to imagine he hasn't attempted a shot. Doesn't quite show how many he's taken.
He's 1,000.
1,000%. We'll take it.
Oh, man.
The greatest free throw shooter in Wildcat history.
Wow. The LeVar Ball of free throw shooters. And now it'll once again be Knapp, the GNAC's leading rebounder.
Man, great defense there on the press from Kevin Holden, but eventually able to get up half court is the Falcons.
Knapp on that left side, approaching Sanders, driving in, and it gets it poked away by Eli Williams. Great defense there. Now approaching, shooting, scoring. Eli Williams with a great up and down.
Defense to offense. Eli Williams did a great job on that possession.
Knapp now coming in on that left end. Being guarded by Maverick Sanders. He's going to shoot it to the outside. Here's the 3. Missed off the back iron. And Bradley Swilly's going to rear it in. Now, on the outside, he's going to swing this one out right for Holden. Yeah, they got to chew some clock. They got to chew some clock here. I mean, at least that's what you have to imagine they're thinking.
So on the big Wildcat logo.
Oh, yeah. As Holden now hits Swilly, Clark, Sanders. And a foul's going to be called there. That one will go against Seattle Pacific.
Yep, little push in the back there.
And just like that, a timeout will be called. We'll take one, too. Be back with you in just a moment here on 88.1 The Berg, your Music Central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. 88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Folks, Ryan Gildersleeve here alongside Jackson Roberts. As let me tell you, folks, we have been witnessing a heck of a game here tonight. 64-51 your score. The Cats lead it by 13. And if you've watched this whole matchup, you'd know that it doesn't feel like there's a double-digit lead here for the Wildcats. It feels like this is right down the line.
Well, yeah, you talked about earlier how I felt like both teams felt like they were losing. It finally feels like the Wildcats are taking that edge and starting to run away with it. 7 minutes to go. Going to have to play some clean basketball.
And here's Swilly immediately off the inbound attempting a shot, but it's not going to go. And now these ones being moved around. It's Knapp as Coach Renta has a few words to say.
He's wanting to see the shot clock reset. It's not resetting on time.
And you can't blame him. As now this one moved to the corner. Driving, shooting, missing. And the rebound goes to Kevin Holden. That one attempted by Henry Sandberg. And now here's Jordan Clark coming across half court. He's going to go up and over to Sanders. Sanders now hands off to Holden. Holden goes inside for Clark, but it's not going to stick in his hands quite the way that he was hoping it would.
Yeah, he didn't need to hit that one. It looked like it was off the hands of Mora, but then Clark tried to maintain it. It would have just went out of bounds. Would have still been Wildcat ball.
And so now here's Knapp with it once more. He's going to send it out for Sandberg. Sandberg against Williams. Swings it out left. Goes that way once more. It's Knapp again against Sanders. And he's going to lose that going in. I didn't see a whole lot of contact, but you could tell it was definitely on the end of the court that we can't see.
Yep, it's going to be on Maverick Sanders as well. His third of the game.
Both teams now tied at 6 fouls committed so far in the half. One more for either squad will send the opposition into the bonus.
Knapp is 3 or 4 for 4 from the line on the night. He's got to miss one eventually, right? Yes, he does.
All right. Well, he's
only 70% from the line, so one of them he had to miss at some point. The numbers do not lie.
So here it's going to go. Knapp approaching the second free throw, and that one is off.
1 minute away from the free burger. That time we were so close.
Hey, you know you're listening to a college broadcast when all we're talking about is food. All right, it's Williams to Swilly. Swilly now to Sanders. Sanders to Clark. Clark to Holden. Everyone's gotten it on this one. Holden driving against Sandberg, loses him and gets him on the switch.
He's just so slithery. He's so fast and get right past the defender.
15 points, the Wildcats lead it. And now Seattle Pacific, they got to start getting something going in a bad way.
It's desperation time.
Yeah, it is. As now the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Cats.
Good job by Maverick Sanders. That his wide wingspan. His wingspan is so long, and he's able to just get a single finger on it that deflects it out of bounds. But he's a really physically gifted player.
And this one inbounded now to Knapp. Knapp driving.
Ooh, yeah, that was a foul.
Yeah, that's a quick foul against Maverick Sanders.
Too much body there.
And that's going to send the Falcons into the bonus.
So 2 more shots at the line for Knapp.
You would have liked to, or at least preferred to, save that last foul for a shooting foul.
Definitely.
But one way or another.
Still on the floor for the Cats is Holden, Clark, Swilly, Williams, and Sanders.
And the shot from Knapp is good. So he will connect on that one. So as per 1-and-1 rules, he'll get another.
Knapp has been the leading scorer for the Falcons tonight with 17 points as their second leading scorer will look to check in the game now.
So Evans now in the game. As you mentioned, they'll send Julian Mora to the bench. And Knapp awaits the second shot. Put up. Missed. Rebound goes to the Cats. Mitch Brizzi is checked in for the Wildcats. And now it is Jordan Clark bringing it up. He's going to move this one to Williams. Williams now swings this one out left for Holden. Holden goes back towards the top of the key and goes to Clark. Clark outright with it. It's Williams. Back to Swilly, who's going to lose it for a moment. keep it in their possession. Now it's to Clark, takes it, makes it. Jordan Clark puts him up by 17.
I was just thinking we need to get the ball in Jordan Clark's hands. That's going to be the guy to ice the game possibly.
And now on the other end, it's Evans. He's going to miss. Seattle Pacific can't throw a tomato at the broadside of a barn right now. And Evans is going to finally get one to go on the third attempt. Yeah. Wildcat defense unable to rear it in.
Not good defensive rebounding, but we have a bit of a grace. We have 15 score deficit or lead, so I'm not too stressed about that.
And now the shot coming from the corner. Kevin Holden with the dagger.
Just pouring it on now on the Falcons. That's an 18-point lead for your Cats.
Yeah, and that's got to be disheartening on the other end. Evans puts it up and makes it.
And you can tell the Wildcats defense, they're playing to not foul.
Yeah.
Maverick Sanders, hands up, body there, but do not want to commit the foul. Give him an and one opportunity.
Yeah. As now Holden, he's going to swing it over to Williams. Williams now working against his man. He drives, sends it to Swilly. That's another easy two. He's not missing that.
Swilly's been money for mid-range.
They're going to call a timeout on the court, Jackson. We'll take 1-2. Be back in just a moment on 88.1 The Berg. .88.1 The Berg, your music central, as well as the CW Athletics live stream. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Gildersleeve here alongside Jackson Roberts as we get ready for the final 3 minutes and 43 seconds of the matchup between your Central Washington Wildcat men's team and the opposing Seattle Pacific Falcons. Jackson, it's been a glorious night for basketball here at the Nicholson Pavilion. Let me tell you, if this one gets this close, this late in the game, I mean, it was close for a while, and then it starts to widen out, and then it starts to get to the point we're at now. And I gotta say, it's exponential. It's exponential W's for the Wildcats.
It seems like everyone on offense is clicking right now. Even Eli Williams is 3 for 3, 100% on the game. Just everyone, whoever has the ball in their hands, it feels like they're scoring.
So here's Julian Mora bringing it in for the Falcons, working against Swilly. Shoulder against him. And he's going to miss the wide open shot. The essence of Bradley Swilly putting on the pressure. As now, here is Moriarty. He's going to be fouled coming in. And that will spell out a couple of shots for him, potentially.
On the season, shooting looks like 87% from the line. He's also the leading scorer for the Falcons, but hasn't felt like we've seen much from him tonight.
And we'll see, as will the remainder of the Wildcat crowd, how he shoots here. First one is up and good. So just like that.
Well, the Wildcats have held their leading scorer on the season to only 2 points, and the guy who's been debatably the hottest player on the team coming into this game, only 6 points. Amazing defensive effort from your Wildcats.
Second shot is no good, and the Wildcats going to rear in the rebound. That one's going to go over to Clark. And it's Jordan Clark now approaching approaching the perimeter. He's going to hand it off to Williams, who almost loses it.
It's chew clock time,
back
boys.
To Holden. Holden to Swilly. Swilly back to Holden. 14 seconds to chew here if they choose to go that route. Kevin Holden driving. Step back three. Oh, my Lord. Kevin Holden. Let the man live.
I have no words. That man is so talented. What a step back. Tough shot.
incredible.
It's not like the defense wasn't there either. They got there. It did not matter.
It didn't matter at all. That was an ISO step back
Whoa.
3, and it might be the most gorgeous thing I've seen all week, Jackson. Here is. Oh, man. Don't do it to him again, Kevin. Don't do it to him again. They can't take it on back-to-back drives like that, man. Kevin Holden approaching.
Mora has no answers.
Oh, man. This has got to be a terrifying spot to be in. He's going to attempt to swing it inside. Instead, it's going to find its way out of bounds. But I believe that because of the shot clock, it will not go to the Wildcats one way or another.
No, I think it stays Wildcats. We get 1 second.
1 second.
Lob to Mitch Brizzy.
Mitch Brizzy, I know you are Shaq deep down. You can make this dunk if we lob it to
Realistically, that's our only opportunity on this shot, though. We don't have time to shoot.
It's got to be a great tip-in.
Unless they...
Okay, well, they got the shot up. You got to be happy about
And
that.
we got the
Eli Williams is going to get the rebound. And now Jordan Clark with an opportunity to chew even more of the clock off. Now it's one to Brizzy. Shoot that. He's going to move it to Jordan Clark. Clark now steps back, shoots the mid-range. That one is off. Rebound goes to Knapp.
He almost had one to match Kevin.
Yeah. And with $1:40 left in this one, it is just a great time here in the pavilion. Okay, well.
Little too handsy. Grabbed the back of the jersey, but definitely a knick-knack foul. One we didn't need to commit this late in the game. But
exactly. But when you're up by 20, you can afford it a little bit. Just a tad.
Just a tad.
Only 10 times.
Yeah. We've got a problem if we're sending them to the line 10 times in under 2 minutes.
And if they're making every one of them, that would really not be fun.
So it's going to be Knapp back at the line. We've seen him here quite often tonight. On the night, he is 5 for 8 from the line. Going to be getting his 9th and 10th if he makes it.
He's going to knock down the first one.
So 6 for 9. Looking for an opportunity to get to 7 to 10, which would be right at his free throw mark, 70%.
You'd have to imagine that this might be the way that his games typically go.
Live up to the numbers.
All right.
Into the band.
And he'll make them both. Though it
18-point lead, though.
Yeah. You know, the small whistle right after that always makes me think that someone's calling an immediate timeout.
Yeah.
There's just something inside me. As now Jordan Clark going to bring it up for the Cats. $1:30 remains in this one.
Jordan Clark just waved off Mitch Brizzy. He said, I got it, don't worry.
The Jeremy Lin waving off Kobe of our era. Clark just keeping his man moving.
Clark and Holden obviously have some of the best handles on this team. They're able to create so much separation. Just keep the ball in their hands, too. Don't turn it over too much.
And against Kinlock, here's the shot. Yep.
Jordan's just so good.
Yep.
He's an offensive threat, and some teams just really can't do nothing about it.
Exactly. Leading him by 20 are the Wildcats once more.
Oh,
my. Okay.
Perimeter defense for Mitch Brizzy.
In the wound. Mitch Brizzy with a great defensive showing there. Going to get the block on the perimeter is now the Wildcats with the ball in the hands of point guard Kevin Holden. Matched up with Mora, and he's going to swing this one cross court. It's now with Swilly. He's going to take a three. He's going to make a three! Bradley Swilly gets on the fun, if you will.
Man. It's a couple threes tonight from Swilly. His shots looked good. It looks fast, too. It looks a lot more improved from last season. It takes a little bit of time last year, but fluid now.
So Coleman going to score on that one. And now no more time left on the shot clock. Wow. What a matchup that was. Your Wildcats poised and in position to win this matchup 82-61, a 21-point victory. The Wildcats win by 20+ in both of their matchups against Seattle Pacific, sending them home packing in a big way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into this broadcast. I, of course, am Ryan Gildersleeve alongside Jackson Roberts. Jackson, what happened?
I don't know. We talked about how high-powered of a team this is coming into the game, but instead, Wildcats are going to advance to 5-1 in conference play. This is huge for the end of the season to make that GNAC tournament, and now that puts SPU at 3-3, not where they want to be following 3 straight wins. They were started out 0-2 in conference play, went to 3-2, right back to 500.
Yeah,